a no trump opening, Texas transfer of 4 hearts by responder. The opener obediently with 4 spades, double. I will not reveal who was involved with this because you might know the people. But I will tell you that when this double got pulled to either 5 clubs or 5 diamonds, the doubler was extremely unhappy. And rightfully so. How could that double be anything other than penalty? If you had a hand, and now you may not play penalty doubles of 1-no. If you do, you would have doubled the first thing, right? If your double isn't penalty, and you're playing, double, or it's conventionally, you're playing something conventional over 1-no, whatever it is, whether you play don't, capiletti, et cetera, we don't know, whatever you play. But if you had a hand that was worth getting in, would you not have gotten in at a lower level? So this is partner, they have erred, and they are not making 4 spades. The Texas transferer had gone off the deep end. She had 6 spades to the jack and nothing else in her hand. Now, Texas transfers can be a bit of a stretch as far as your game try, but we usually still expect 7, 8, 9 points at a minimum. This person had just totally lost it and decided to try a game with 1 point opposite a no trump opening. And this person here had a very good hand. Oh, by the way, they had 3 sure trump tricks, among other cards. They had 4 spades set in their hand, and they know that these cards are going to cash because we've got a balanced hand, right? I mean, the dummy might be somewhat distributional, but yes, this double got pulled, and then of course they got doubled in the contract they were in and went down instead of collecting a big score against 4 spades doubles. So, it's funny because we had this conversation at the table midway through the game today. I have this tendency, because it was something that my dad in particular always chewed on me when I was a kid. Use your common sense. And so now I say that to him, like, why don't people use common sense? And then I said, a friend of mine who says, well, there's no such thing as common sense anymore. People just have sense, but it's not common. We don't all share it, right?
Well,
but that's when my dad doesn't play bridge. If my dad played bridge and he made this double and I pulled it, he would chew me out and say, here's your head, use your common sense. Of course it's penalty. I can't even imagine my dad playing bridge, to tell you the truth. He's more of a blackjack kind of guy. So yeah, anyhow, don't want to drift too much further on that. I will say this, thank you for the segue to shameless self-promotion. We are going to talk about penalty doubles in a couple weeks at the Match Point Mastery workshop that I'm going to do on August 10th, which you may not have seen your email yet, but I sent it out this morning. And so penalty doubles are going to be part of that because penalty doubles are a big part of playing match points. There's one more. Oh, we do want to look at some examples, but I realized before we get into these examples, there was one situation we didn't talk about. And this one tends to get overlooked too. People forget to do it. Or they don't recognize what it is. But what about this option? Everything we've talked about with our negative doubles so far has revolved around the majors. And that's their main intent, as are so many of our conventions in bridge. It's all around, everything kind of circles around trying to find these major fits. But what if partner opens a heart and there's a spade overcall? And you double as a responder. What do you have?
Both minors.
You probably have both minors, right? Now we may look at a slight exception to that here coming up. But hopefully that would be intuitive. Again, remember the emphasis is on the unbid suits, and in particular unbid majors. But here, because you've opened one major and the opponents have overcalled the other major, what else makes sense? What else should double be? And some people get confused here, and they say, "Oh, it's a." In fact, I feel like we had this auction, and one of my partners actually alerted this, and I was like, "Why is this being alerted? This is not an alertable bid." And so the opponents asked, and they said, "Support. It's a support double." No, we'll get into support doubles later on. Remember, support doubles are never made by responders. Support doubles can only be made by the opener, so that would not apply here. So go back to your roles. Which positions at the table make which kinds of doubles. So yeah, emphasis is on the unbid suits. So that would certainly suggest the minor suits. So let's look at a few examples here. So example A, and again, you're in respond every time for all these examples. You are in responder C. So partner opens a diamond, and there's an overcall of 1 heart. And you're vulnerable, if you can. What do you think? Would you double? Yeah, you only have 2 small in partner's diamonds, so you would not be particularly excited if partner rebid 2 diamonds. I mean, we don't even know. The opponents might not be all that likely to sell out to 2 diamonds if that's what partner does. And partner may have a very good hand with extra diamond leads. So I think I would. It's minimal, but if it had gotten 1 diamond pass, would you not have scraped up a 1 spade response?
So vulnerable, not vulnerable, either which way you would do it.
Yeah, I mean, I still, I mean, if anything, look, if they had not interfered and we made our normal response of 1 spade, we're at least going to the 2 level or partners rebidding 1 no, right? That's with no interference. Here, with the interference, in theory, if partner had a dead minimum opener, they could bid 1 only spade, right? So in theory, there's a cheaper bid available to us that would not have been available because a 1 spade response without the interference there would be forcing for a round anyhow, right?
Yes.
It's not like partner would be allowed to pass 1 spade.
Except.
And as a bonus, you actually have clubs, so if partner were to bid clubs instead of spades, you'd be happy there too.
But you said that if we've got 5, we overcall.
If you had a 5th spade, but on this hand you don't.
No, you don't. So.
So double. So when you double, partner has the benefit of knowing that you have exactly 4 spades.
Mm-hmm.
And here you have clubs as well. You haven't absolutely guaranteed clubs, but you sort of imply that you can at least stand clubs. Here you actually have your clubs are even longer than your spades, but your hand's not nearly good enough for a free 2 club bid, even if you wanted to do that, right? Yeah, so I like double. It is minimal. My feeling is, these now or never hands, because if you don't bid now, if you don't give your side a chance to find a spade fit now, you're not going to get back in later. And for all you know, the opponents are at 2 or 3 or 4 hearts when it comes back around. And if you just pass with this hand, then partner's going to think you're completely broke, and maybe you should be competing. So I think that's fine.
Do you give yourself a little bit just because of the shortness?
I'm not really thinking. I'm not giving myself any distributional value until we figure out that we have a suit fit.
Right.
I mean, it is possible that this is a misfit hand that we don't have a great place to play. But again, the good news is we're not doing that much bidding, right? I mean, we have a chance to get out at the 1 or 2 level.
Kurt, I'm looking back at your paper. It says 1 level, strength required, 7+ points, or rarely a good 6.
Okay, so I'm putting this into the good 6.
And now if they have to go to the 2 level, which they would if they said clubs.
If they said clubs.
Then you should have 9+ points, it says.
So that's true, but if partner bid 2 clubs, wouldn't that be at least 4 clubs? I mean, I don't think partner wouldn't come back and bid a 3-card club suit after a bid that's only promised 4 spades, right? So if partner comes back and bids 2 clubs,
He should have a bid.
you're in a 9-card club fit, right?
And
Even with a fairly weak hand, don't you feel all right being in a 9-card club fit? That's one of the reasons I'm willing to make this double. Like I said, really the worst scenario is partner rebids diamonds, which is usually a 6-card suit.
could be 5.
Could rarely be 5, but again, we're only at the 2 level.
Right.
I mean, what if partners had to rebid, ace, king, jack, fifth of diamonds? Okay, so we're in a 5-2 diamond fit at the 2 level. Either partner has a better hand, and I still like our chances to make this. Partner's got a little more beef over there. Or if partner has a dead minimum opener, if partner's got a 12 or 13 point hand, we're probably not going to buy this, are we? The opponents are probably going to take us off the hook anyhow. Because we have 6 points, and if partner has 12 or 13, doesn't that give the opponents 21, 22? If I can steal a hand for 2 diamonds and go down 1 when the opponents were going to make something, that doesn't bother me at all. And 2 diamonds might make. So I really don't think that there seldom is going to be a scenario where you get yourself in too much trouble making a negative double. That is really the point of that particular example. What about B? A club by partner and a weak jump over call of 2 hearts on your right. You have 9 high card points.
And you are giving them a chance to bid at the 2 level with spades.
So yeah, so if you have a cooperative partner who bids 2 spades, you'll pass next, right? Because you're not really invitational. Well, what if partner doesn't have spades and they can't bid 2 spades?
And they don't have this stuff.
What if partner has to go to the 3 level and they come back with 3 clubs? Is that a crisis?
We have 3.
Not really. I mean, you have Jack 10 third, right? And if need be, your partner might be able to get a heart loser rough if they have to do that, right? You'd rather hear 2 spades than 3 clubs, but I think you can live with 3 clubs. Again, a diamond bid for partner is unlikely, even though your negative double, again, you're only guaranteeing the spades. You rate to have a little something in diamonds. You don't have to, but a bid of 3 diamonds by partner is unlikely because the minor they opened was clubs. You're way more likely to hear a club rebid than a 3 diamond bid. And then if partner bids 2 no, well, in that case they've got hearts stopped. I would probably pass 2 no. I don't think we're going to game, but hopefully I have enough here where partner can get to 8 tricks and no trump. So I think you've got a reasonable place you can land, but we're looking at probably about the minimum. We've got 9 points here, and I gave you specifically the Jack 10 of partner suit to make it maybe a little more attractive, particularly if we play in clubs. All right, well, let's try a couple others. Oh, how about this one? So we're gonna have partner open a club with a spade overcall on your right. Okay, how about that? There's some clutter here. How do you feel about this one? You have 5 hearts to the ace jack. Can you bid 2 hearts here? Not quite strong enough. Need about another queen in your hand to be thinking about two hearts. Just remember, now the two hearts would show the fifth heart, but it's also a one-round force. And if you're going to do a one-round force, you really need to have at least invitational values, right? Invitational or better. How do you feel about double? I mean, you get to compete. Partner's going to expect 4 hearts. They won't know that you have 5. Maybe partner can still bid 2 hearts. The trickier situation is, what if partner only has 3 hearts? And they think that you're only promising 4. So maybe with a 3-card heart holding, they wouldn't want to bid 2 hearts. It might be an option. I think the trickier decision would be perhaps in your second bid. So what if partner were to rebid 2 clubs? Let's follow this through. So, okay, we've settled on negative double. And let's say partner bids 2 clubs. It certainly would be reasonable if we passed here. We do have queen third of clubs. Could we show the 5th heart? We could. There's no guarantee partner can stand hearts, though. So I think, for any of you who experienced the tolerance principle lecture at the regional, you could try 2 hearts here, right? Now, what's partner going to think of that? Like, now wait a minute. You made a negative double. I didn't support hearts, and you're going to put a negative. What's going on here? Well, what's going on here is you have a 5th heart and your hand wasn't good enough to bid 2 hearts the first time. So hopefully partner can figure out that you're like 6 to 9 points with 5 hearts, or maybe 6, right? That's a possibility too. What if you had a 6th heart but you weren't any stronger than this? So 2 hearts here is non-forcing. The question is, what does your partner do? What if partner's over there with a singleton heart? They're going to leave you in a 5-1 heart fit? This is why I feel like if you have this auction, you need to be able to hear partner bid 3 clubs. Definitely getting into some trickier nuance auction. If you think that partner is going to misunderstand what's going on here, you should probably pass 2 clubs and not take a stab at finding a heart fit. Now, what you're trying to do here, you're hoping that you have like a 5-3 heart fit, right? A hand where partner has decent heart support and you have a fit there. And actually even a good doubleton from partner might be all right. Like what if partner had king doubleton of hearts? Yeah, that wouldn't be so bad. We could play a 5-2 fit missing the queen of hearts. Might score up the same 110 that we'd get playing 3 clubs, right? So, I mean, it's a decision to make, and I don't think it's automatic. And like I said, I would tread carefully if you have not talked about an auction like this with your partner. All right, well, let's look at this one.
Kurt, back on that one, are you saying that if I have a 6th heart, I still need to start with a negative double?
If you're not strong enough to bid 2 hearts.
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, and look, that is a problem hand when you get the spade overcall, because your plan when partner opened a club, if you had 6 hearts, was to respond 1 heart and then just rebid 2 hearts, which shows a weaker hand with 6, right? But the interference has, has given you a little bit of a problem there. So, all right. So, what about something like this? Partner opens a heart, spade overcall. You have 8 high card points? Can you show that hand? You can, right? So this is your negative double. Take away the question mark. This is your negative double, showing both minors. Here you are 4-5 in the minors. 4 diamonds, 5 clubs. You might only be 4-4. If you're 5-4 either way, I think the negative double is your best bet. Not just because you aren't strong enough to freely bid 2 clubs, but this is how you keep both suits in the picture, right? This is what we're trying to do. This is a big purpose to not just our negative doubles, but a lot of our doubles.